Brett Pontecorvo here at mainstagetoableton.com. Sometimes when you're playing keys live, you have a lot of parts to cover, and honestly, when you're playing leads and pads and synths all at the same time, things can get really muddy. So today what we're going to look at is how to create a keyboard split that keeps your pads by themselves on the bottom half of the keyboard, your lead sounds by themselves on the top half of the keyboard, and then we're going to set up a transposer button so that your lead sounds sit closer to the middle of the keyboard in that big, juicy, meaty range that you want them in. Let's take a look at how to set that up.
So let's get started setting up this this solo range keyboard split. So right now what I have rocking is a pad sound, and I also have a lead sound. So my pad is this, and my lead sounds like this. So there may be a situation where you might want those happening at the same time, but there might also be situations where you don't want that happening at the same time. And maybe you want this note, but you want to be able to play it 3 octaves higher on the keyboard and still have it sound the same. And there are lots of situations that may call for this, but let's talk about how you might go about setting that up. So if we head over here to our MIDI effects, we're going to make use of the pitch plugin. So let's start by dropping the pitch plugin in front of each of our sounds. Now these pitch plugins have 2 areas. This pitch device is going to transpose, and these guys over here are going to set your ranges. So for our analog rack, when I have my keyboard split, I want my highest note to be C4. It actually ends up being B3, but when you set this to 71, and I will open this up here so you can kind of see what's happening. See how when I hit that C4, it's no longer allowed to pass through. And you'll also see that when I hit those notes, this light flashes, and that is because it is filtering out that signal. Let's head over now to the Please Pizza Pluck. This is a preset that I highly recommend. It comes with Live 10, and it is part of the Wavetable collection. So we want our lowest note to be C4. So let's test. All right, so that's good. And we can actually leave this at 127 because it's going to take up the top half of the keyboard, so there's no reason to play with that. Now let's throw another pitch plug-in here. And let's set this to -12. Now, depending on what you're doing, maybe you want this set at -24, who knows. But now my C4 actually sounds like a C3. Just so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm playing a C4 on my keyboard, but C3 is coming out. So when I turn this off, C4, when I turn it on, C3, and down here, just pads. Cool, so now we need to make this functional when we're playing live. And the way to do that is to map all of these pitch plugins to the same button. So we can do that quickly by hitting Command M. And then we're going to go through and select the on-off button. So there's one. And then we'll want to map this guy and this guy as well, all to the same button. And this one I'm using is CC36, but any CC will work. All right, so let's check out what we can accomplish now making use of this mapping. So here it is with without my split. And when I turn my split on, there you have it. A solo range keyboard split.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to Ableton, and especially if you're switching from Mainstage, head over to my website at mainstagetoableton.com/go to get your free copy of the Fast Track patch list guide today, which will have you up and running with a Mainstage style patch list in Ableton Live. And to stay up to date with all of our latest blog posts, be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here.